Okay, so it's Magdalena today, and this week it's Monday. It's not Saturday because I was maybe playing Humans vs Zombies on Saturday for 8 hours maybe, and it maybe ended at 3 in the morning, and I maybe didn't want to record a video because I was tired and I'm a lazy ass anyway. So this week's topic is being trans enough, and I think it's a completely ridiculous idea. Being trans enough, and imagine whatever I said, say that, have it be in air quotes, trans enough, because I don't really feel like doing it. The amount of ridiculous it has deserves air quotes. It is made of ridiculous, that phrase is. It is, and I think you don't have the right to say that somebody else is a man or a woman, or in between, or something else differently. You just don't. You can't know. And people are saying this, people are saying this based on the fact, like, people's hobbies or the kind of clothes they choose to wear. Like, a trans woman may say, oh, I prefer cargo shorts and baggy shirts to skirts and, blouses. Or a trans man may say, well, I like to dance the ballet, but I'm still a man. And people are saying you're not trans enough because your transness is not the same as mine, or your hobbies aren't the same as the typical males, or that you don't experience dysphoria the same way I do. I have dysphoria. Every trans man must have dysphoria about his breasts, or every trans woman must have dysphoria about her Adam's apple or her deep voice or whatever. Not everybody has dysphoria about the same thing. And not everybody, like, hobbies that people say, well, that's a girl's hobby. You can't be a trans man because you like doing ballet, or you're not a trans woman because you like to play football. Things that are typically masculine or feminine, and people are saying you're not trans enough because of those things. It's ridiculous. And it's not, and I've never had somebody tell me, and I'm very open about what I like to do in my past. And I've done some really stupid things, and I've had some hard times, and they're things that are viewed as typically something that one gender would, like, nobody has said to me, you can't be a trans man because you've suffered from an eating disorder, because those only happen to girls, so you must be a girl if you suffer from an eating disorder. But it doesn't work like that. Or you're not a trans man or a trans woman or whatever, or people have, like, I don't know how to express this through English, in words and writing or talking, or I can't really express the amount of ridiculous that I see in this topic. And it's something that's come from within inside our community. Like, somebody who has come out as a trans man, let's say, and he's come out to his parents and his friends and his peers and his teachers and his principal and the president or king or prime minister or whatever. And he has been rejected by everybody that he knows because he has come out as a trans man, and then he turns to an internet forum and says I'm a trans man, and, like, doing an introduction and says, like, I'm Billy Bob Joe, I'm a trans man, and I like watching football and playing in mud and cars, but I also like to dance the ballet. And then somebody says, well, you're not a trans man because you like ballet. And this is, first of all, him liking something, enjoying something, does not make him less of a man. And second of all, you have no right to say this, and you just don't. And third, this is somebody who has been rejected by everybody that he knows, and this is the last place he has to turn. And now you are telling him that he's not trans enough, and he's already probably having doubts about everything. and now you're telling him that he's not a trans man because of this. This topic of being trans enough, I think a lot of people don't see it like this, but it directly relates to suicide and depression. And the transgender community has a very high rate of suicide. It's a number that scares me, and it's something, and I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm not really proud of it, that I have contributed to the number of attempted suicides of trans people. It's such a high statistic. It scares me. And this idea of trans enough, being trans enough, goes directly into it. People saying that you're not trans enough is causing people to doubt something. I don't get it at all. It just disappoints me that we're not at the point in a community where we can say, oh, hello, sir, madam, or whatever, like, if somebody introduces themselves as a man or a woman, or something differently, or a stapler, or a penguin, or a lampshade, for whatever. And we're not at the point at a community where we can say, oh, so-and-so is here, and we're glad that you have come out to us in this community on the internet or through a local meeting or whatever. I hate that there's that idea of being trans enough that's causing this person to second guess themselves when that's what they've been doing their entire lives. It's just, it really disappoints me and saddens me. I don't understand it. And I think that's about it for this week. So, yeah.